you guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test. Test.
Test.
Test. Test.
And welcome back to Convincing Idiots, this very special 200th episode of Convincing Idiots. I am Millennial Nick, alongside Daniel Dean and Gen X Brian. That's right. And for our third and final segment this evening, gentlemen, we're fond of our Mount Rushmores here. Well, what better way to spend our 200th episode than discussing another Mount Rushmore of idiot picks. Today, it will be some of our favorite fictional vehicles. So we all drive very fantastical, expensive, top-notch vehicles,
Yes.
but they are real and practical. So we are going to step outside of the box and discuss some of our favorite fictional vehicles. So, Brian, you were alive for the invention of the very first vehicle.
That's right.
Why don't you tell us which one you prefer?
Yeah, Dean actually drives an actual Wienermobile, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So
I Wienermobile, yeah.
I do.
It's weird how he painted a head on the end of the driver's seat, but that's kind of weird. Okay, but anyway.
The trick is watching me make it disappear.
I'm going to start with, guys, the greatest superhero vehicle in existence. The vehicle itself is almost as famous as the superhero who drives the vehicle, the Batmobile.
Good one.
All the iterations of the Batmobile, certainly in the comics, and then brought to life originally with the great version on the Adam West Batman series. Certainly the Tim Burton Batman movies, the whole different. Every Batman movie, the Batmobile in itself is a character.
But you say that, Brian. Now, feet to the fire, you get to own one. Which version are you buying?
That's easy. I'm getting the Adam West 66 version. That's it. That's the one you want. It's the open air, the coolness. Yeah, that's the one. I don't want to drive around a fucking,
a tank.
Not the Christopher, not that one. Not the Christopher Nolan trilogy one. It's cool in a movie, but not for driving around the road for fun. But yeah, the Adam West
might have bad acting in the vehicle too. You got to be careful on that.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed the aesthetic of the. I did like the Batman Forever Batmobile with the glowing kind of hood.
Oh yeah,
with the neons underneath and stuff. I mean, just
like the visually
wing
in the back.
Yeah, one wing on the back. It was kind of cool. Yeah, but yeah, many cool versions
as well.
Yeah, many cool versions of the Batmobile. And to me, it's funny. The one I default to in my mind, and this could be, I'm sure, with you guys, maybe it is the Adam West one. But when I think Batmobile, I think of the Michael Keaton Batmobile from the first two movies.
Well, that's
definitely
kind of how I see it. Yeah.
Yep. Very cool version for sure.
All right, Nick.
Yeah.
What's your pick?
Oh, you gonna ask me what to go next? Sorry, I forgot how this works. I don't know. You just said my name. You could be asking me anything in the world. So I just okay. What's up? What's going on? How you been? All right, my first pick. You know what? There's a lot of cool cars portrayed in film and TV shows alike, but one always specifically stood out to me. Not only was it super cool and the gadgets that it had and the functionality it had also had a super cool driver. And I'm going to go with Kit from Knight Rider. I always thought Kit was pretty cool. It's like a built-in best friend too. He talks to you. You can have deep conversations with him, and your buddy swings by and picks you up when you're not behind the driver's seat. He does cool stuff for you. So, Kit is a multifunctional tool and had a kick-ass theme song. And man, Knight Rider just I don't know. When I watched it as a young lad, Kit had a big impression on me. So I'm gonna put Kit on my Mount Rushmore.
You'd never be lonely.
No, you never.
You'd
Really
always have somebody to talk to. He could drive for you.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was the voice of fucking Mr. Feeney. So I mean, come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
That wins all day, every day.
I'd make Kit call me Mr. Matthews if I had Kit.
I totally get that. 1,000%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to go. Well, you know what? I'm going to start backwards on my list. I'm going to go the DeLorean from the Back to the Future movies.
Yeah.
Very cool car.
I mean, as a kid, I'd never seen anything like it. It was metal, like there's no paint job. Like, who did that, right? I mean, now you have these what is it, Tesla trucks? Have you seen these?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
all the
Cybertruck.
metal, Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the doors that come up, and you could travel to 1955. So yeah, there's nothing about that that isn't awesome.
Yeah, they're good features.
Now,
you don't see those on cars anymore.
No. The flux capacitor didn't sell as well as they thought it would, so they kind of discontinued it. But yeah, definitely the now, which one would you choose? Do you go Back to the Future 2 with the flying, or do you just stick with a generic on the ground roadster?
I'll give you the flying one.
Yeah.
You feed
I think
you feed the
flying
you just had
cool.
the Mr. Fusion thing in it. You just put garbage in it to power it. I mean, what more do you want?
Yeah. Wheels flip up, you can fly around into the future.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that.
That's another one where dudes, if they have money, that's another vehicle that guys that go out and they find things to restore and all that. The DeLorean.
Yeah, you can get them.
They set those up and they put the flux capacitors in them and show them and all that. That's another one, like the Batmobiles, that people I think long for, if nothing else, because it was such an impression on their childhood that they go out and get the actual DeLorean,
Well, the professional wrestler Jerry the King Lawler owns one of the original Batmobiles from the 60s TV show.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. All right, so my pick is the DeLorean, Back to the Future.
Fantastic.
Very good.
Brian, what do you got?
Good. I'm going to give you the Ecto 1. This is the Ghostbusters car. The original one, like in the 84 movie. That's the one I like. The ones in the newer ones, that's cool with the whole gunner seat, that's fine.
Nah, but you want the original.
The original one, and it's still one of my favorite scenes of that movie where they show it for the first time in action. They turn it on. They have the sirens, and then the whole wailing siren and everything, and it pulls out. I just love that scene so much here, just with the beat up looking thing with the logos on the side. Just that's a great car. So Ecto 1 is one of my favorite vehicles, fictional vehicles. Yeah,
very good. Nikolai.
All right. My next one has always been a personal favorite from childhood as well. And of course, it is a Star Wars one. There are many amazing vehicles you could choose from Star Wars. A couple that I had to struggle with like which ones to fit on my list here. But ultimately, one of the coolest things to me was always Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
The reason is like the curved wings. It looks like the rest of them, but it's special because it's his. It's modified. It's got the curved wings. It's just very cool. It just is synonymous with the kid with an all-time cool character. And if I could have a flying craft, I would have to say it would probably be Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. The thing looks like it zips in and out of tight places pretty well.
Yeah.
Didn't do so great in the trench there in New Hope, but other than that, it's a good maneuverability, but just very cool and sleek looking. So Darth Vader's TIE Fighter is certainly on my list.
All right, well, Brian, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I got that toy, the original Kenner toy, one Christmas, the Darth Vader TIE Fighter. That was one of my favorite toys back then. To put Darth Vader in it, flying it, but it was gray, and like you said, just a whole different look to it.
Yeah,
very, very cool.
I had one that was one of the micro machines that they made, and it had a tiny little, nearly microscopic Darth Vader that bent at the waist that you could sit down in there, and it was pretty cool.
I've got both of those. What you guys just said in the bin right over here. Carter's got all of those.
I thought you were going to say you had a micro machine in your pants, but then you went somewhere different with it. So.
Well, it's not a machine. It's micro. It's just not a machine. Motherfucker needs oiled. See, your
micro
TIE
girth
fighter.
massive disappointment.
I just think we found the title of my autobiography. Nick, your choice was blasted out of the space, I guess you could say, in the trench scene because of my next choice, and that is the Millennium Falcon.
Okay, nice.
I mean, the Millennium Falcon is hands down the coolest, right? With the two drivers, or the co-pilot and the pilot, and then it just looked awesome. Even though, like, they made a point of that it was just a beat up old freighter, but still, you know it as Han Solo's fucking ride. So, there's nothing cooler to me than the Millennium Falcon. That's why it's number 2 on my list.
Yeah, I think of all the vehicles, in my opinion, of this in any Star Wars vehicle, that vehicle was a character. Yeah, the Millennium Falcon was a separate character in that movie. It was referred to so often. It was such an integral part of that universe. And when you saw it, I don't know that I got any more excited to see any. Maybe Darth Vader's TIE Fighter was definitely cool, but to see the Millennium Falcon on screen was like, that was exciting.
Well, and then you have the movie Solo, where you find out why it had its own personality. That what K2SO memory or whatever data bank was placed inside her. So that's why the Millennium Falcon has its own personality, is because of K2SO.
Okay. Completely unnecessary, but that was okay. Yeah, anyway.
You're talking about me saying it, or did it happen?
No, not you just saying it.
I don't know why you say things sometimes.
Yeah, that storyline was you didn't need to get the ship had its own personality because it was a rundown ship, and that made it kind of fun and funny.
Yeah,
because it was Han Solo, it was his baby, and bumping it and hitting it to get things to work and all that stuff. He didn't need to make it alive, if you will. But anyways,
you will, baby.
And off camera here, you can't see it, but over here I have it hanging up right now still. My original Millennium Falcon ship I got as a kid. That was the ultimate ship toy that I ever received. Was the original Millennium Falcon toy. Had like the little Luke Skywalker, global thing that they had to train against. They had a little chessboard in there and stuff, and just a great toy and a great ship. Just had a great look to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brian, what's next on your list?
Okay. The Munstermobile.
Okay.
From the Munsters, the original Munsters. It just was the crazy car that they had where it was like a dragster thing, and it had a crazy look to it. It had the weird high bench in the back where Grandpa sat and everything. So that's another one. It just the car on the show. You didn't see it a whole bunch, but the car was its own character as well. Just how weird and creepy it was. That's it. I always loved seeing it. You didn't see it a whole bunch, but like I said, when I saw it, I loved it. So the Munstermobile.
Very cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Nick?
Next up, any kid that was raised in the 90s, probably specifically a boy, everybody dreamed of potentially being a Power Ranger, but certainly being able to operate a Megazord. And the Megazord for you guys, and you guys, familiar with Voltron, same premise, right? All the different vehicles, the machines come together and form the ultimate robot. Now, typically, I don't know if you necessarily need all 5 people operating the Megazord or not, but there's a spot in there for 5 people. But not only with a Megazord do you get the Megazord, but you also, if you want to just break off a Mastodon or a Triceratops, a saber-toothed tiger, a Tyrannosaurus, or a pterodactyl, you just have those too. You have 5 different vehicles separately, and then combining into one Megazord, in which you just walk around and fuck shit up with. So a Megazord would definitely be a pretty awesome vehicle to get around in. I mean, Granted, in that form, you're basically walking around, but still, it's a vehicle nonetheless.
Right. Well, like I'd asked Brian there, Nick, which one do you choose?
Oh, well, for me,
feet to the fire.
Yeah, for me, or like which singular?
Yeah.
Piece? Okay, because there are different variations. Power Rangers
You
season is a different. They all look different. So the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers one is the Megazord. That's the one you want. For me, I was partial to Black Ranger, which was the Mastodon. So I'm tempted to take that. However, when they show the different scenes of them all coming from their prehistoric planes and forming into one, the saber-toothed tiger looks like it's really just fucking giving her. Like it's going real fast. Right. It's leaping over tree lines and shit. And so I think the Yellow Ranger, saber-toothed tiger would probably be the one I would go with singularly if I had to choose.
All right, that's a good choice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right. My next one is, you know what, Nick, I don't know if you're going to understand this. Brian, you will. Back in the 1980s.
Is there a night court vehicle or?
Oh, no, it's close. The television show was Airwolf. And there was a Black Ops helicopter that they used for the television show Airwolf. And that's what it was. It was Knight Rider, but with a helicopter.
So not a basketball playing werewolf.
No.
Okay, that's kind of what I was getting from the title. All right.
No.
Okay.
That's Teen Wolf.
Yes, that's the
Teen Wolf.
Yes.
Airwolf. It was just a badass helicopter. I think I had a toy of Airwolf at one time.
Yep.
If I remember correctly.
Michael Vincent, right?
Jan Michael Vincent. And Ernest Borgnine.
Yes, that's
was his friend or whatnot. So, yeah. Probably a shitty show, but if you went back and watched it, but the helicopter was fucking righteous.
Nice.
The 80s loved helicopters. The 80s
they
were
sure
big on
did.
helicopters. They had that one. They had
Magnum
the Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Choppers.
The chopper.
You had Riptide was another one that had an old helicopter in it and stuff. It was like a weird cop show, stuff like that. So anyway, yeah.
They knew what they were doing. They knew people's love and excitement for the chopper.
That's right.
That's right. Yep. We got the younger boomers and the young Gen X kids. They like helicopters.
That's right.
Get me more copters.
What if we get him a helicopter? No, we need to get him a chopper. No, that's what I said. The helicopter. No helicopter. We're going to get a chopper.
It has to be a chopper. Do it. Put it in there now. Chopper. It's like much like today, except instead of back then, people wanted and needed choppers. But like today, the vehicle that everyone is after is electric bikes. That's all the rage. Everybody, they want electric bikes in movies. They want electric bikes in television shows. And where is the spot that you would go to find all of your film quality electric bikes? Not just good sense, not just for you, the consumer, but what is worthy to be put on a roll of film? Well, that would be none other than from our friends at RPM Bike Shop. They have the finest selection of electric bikes to offer you. They're located right near here in Carrollton, Ohio. And if you don't believe me, well, I would invite you to go to their website, which is rpmbikeshop.com. Take a look for yourself. You can also go to their Facebook page by searching up RPM Bike Shop on Facebook, or give them a call at 330-808-7792 today. And when you go there, make sure that Convincing Idiots told you about them, and that Millennial Nick specifically sends his love to RPM Bike Shop, and apologies for not being here for them for the last few weeks. But RPM Bike Shop, it's the way to go. If you're putting an electric bike under your ass or on film, RPM Bike Shop.
If Arnold Schwarzenegger was to ride on an electric bike, would he be an electric biker?
He would absolutely be an electric biker. He would go to RPM right in Carrollton and say, "Give it to me. Give me the bike now." And he would ride electricity all the way to the next taping of Convincing Idiots.
Very good.
Yes.
Yeah, I talked to our friends at RPM Bike Shop here, guys. Their sales have been down 94%.
Mhm.
94% without
Wonder
Nick
why that
doing the
is.
spots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn. Sorry,
Yep.
we'll
They're like,
turn it
people are
around.
still hearing them, but Brian's Reed just doesn't have the, gravitas
That's
that
it.
Nick West
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Bike, get it.
That's right.
RPM, something like that. Yep.
That's right.
Get it. Lightning bike,
Fucking
speed, and Alexander Graham Bell.
That's right. Yep.
My name is Millennial Nick, and I love three things: chewing bubblegum, kicking ass, and electric fucking bikes.
There you go.
Goddamn right.
You can keep that slogan.
That's right.
Julie, Rob. Yep. There you have it. I want to see Jan Michael Vincent ride in an electric bike. I would like that.
So would I. He's been dead for years, so that would be amazing.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Pretty cool. The CGI, AI version. I like it. Okay. Whose turn is it? No, Nick, I think you have to do your actual selection.
Yeah. I think it's your turn there.
Was it my turn? We were finishing up on something.
No, I said Airwolf, right?
Airwolf, yeah. So it's the helicopters, the choppas, and then the bikers, and then now is me. Okay,
that's right.
All right. My next selection is going to be. I'm guessing one that neither of you have. I am going to choose the Mutt Cuts van. From Dumb and Dumber. That would be Harry's.
Absolutely.
It's just a big van with a bunch of loose dogs in the back, but it looks like a giant dog.
It's
great, and you get to dress up like a dog when you drive it.
Right.
I mean, as you know, you could probably get it for the price of what did he sell it for? A scooter? No, it was a scooter. He sold the van. He traded the van for a scooter, right? In Dumb and Dumber. Yes. So definitely, for the exchange of a scooter or perhaps like a BMX bike, you could probably have a Mutt Cuts van. So I'm going to put the Mutt Cuts van on my Mount Rushmore of fictional rides. And the funnest thing about it, perhaps, is that it doesn't have to be fictional. Anyone with the right know-how could make that a real thing.
Yeah, you definitely make it.
Yep.
Little stitching pattern in your with the cloth and the
sure.
You're gonna want to live somewhere that's not like that doesn't have like a lot of weather happening. That's more of a Florida, California situation.
It's just wet and stays wet forever.
Like a wet dog vehicle.
It rained 13 years ago, and now my van is eternally wet.
Because you can't quite get it to shake.
Right.
Try rock it like, okay, now we go left, now we go right, now we go left, now we go right.
Yeah, you can give it a shot.
Yeah.
The ears are just banging up against the walls, and it's a whole thing. All right, Brian, I think we skipped you there, so it's your turn there.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've done 4.
Okay. The Mystery Machine.
There we go.
Yeah.
A lot of weed smoking, sandwich eating, and mysteries being solved from that vehicle, I believe.
Yeah,
what's that like?
Maybe some stink finger things happening. I don't even know what's going on in there, but something like that.
It's a mystery. What happens in the machine remains a mystery. That's right.
That's right.
Smells like weed, salami, and sex.
But in the cartoons, is definitely one of the coolest vehicles, and that's another one that you've seen, live action. But of course, they've had the live action movie versions and the Scooby-Doo movies. Just another cool one. If you give me a vehicle that I could have, that would be one that I would consider to have a live or actual version of that to drive around. It's cool. It's noticeable. It's fun. So there you go. Did it do anything special? Nope. It just got those kids around.
Just looks awesome.
That's right. Very hard to. It's not going to blend in well if they're trying to be inconspicuous. Yeah.
Correct.
But it's cool. It's iconic.
Yeah.
There you have it. Mystery Machine.
It. Yep. I like it.
Good color combo too.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. Dean? I'm going to go with this one's easy. Why wouldn't anybody given the chance to own Optimus Prime? You own Optimus Prime.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
I mean, you could ride him as a fucking truck, or he could be a giant robot.
Or you can ride him as a robot.
Yeah, I'll ride that fucking robot dick. Hell yeah. Oh no, I've got oil all over my leg. Fuck yeah! Oh, Optimus Prime would be awesome. First of all, it's just cool. It's a badass looking truck.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And then again, he's a giant robot. So yeah, Optimus Prime all day.
There you go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think we're going on our last pick there, boys.
Yeah, my last one here coming up is it's quite simple and similar in sentiment to Brian's last pick. Nothing special, just gets you around, although there is one special feature, and I'll get back to that. But I'm going to go with the Mirthmobile from Wayne's World. Pretty sure it's just like a gremlin with fire flame decals painted on the side. And it does noticeably have a very distinct feature in that it has a Twizzler dispenser on the hood, from the hood. So
sure,
need I say more?
Right off the bat, yeah.
Yeah, right. Mirthmobile. It was the Garth's vehicle to get around and transport Wayne. So yeah, the Mirthmobile.
That's good. I'd drive the Mirthmobile.
Yeah. Brian, what would you drive?
Well, I had an overlap of the Millennium Falcon, so I will replace that with. I'm going to put in. This is one of my favorite animated vehicles as a kid, the Fiery Phoenix. I don't know if you guys know what that's even from. The Battle of the Planets. It was like an anime type series. It was like teenage kids, and they dressed up like birds. I don't know if you remember this or not. And
sounds like a fever dream. I don't think that's real.
Casey Kasem actually did one of the voices back then.
Of course he did. Mm-hmm.
You're right. And the ship, look, it was a cool ship to begin with, but they would turn it into the Fiery Phoenix. So the ship would sort of like catch on. It looked like it caught on fire. It became literally a fire bird, and it just became more powerful and all that. And that was the thing. So the Battle of the Planets, you can find it. I think there is a free streaming station out there called G-Force. That was the name of the group. And they just fought, this weird Zoltar type dude. And it was a fun show at its time. But the ship was cool. And the Fiery Phoenix was always exciting as a kid when they would turn the ship into the Fiery Phoenix to take on whatever creature that was fighting and stuff like that. But, just cool, fun, nostalgic, powerful.
Just like you.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
All right. For my last pick, let me tell you a little story. Back in 1985, 1986, the Dodge car company made what was called the M4S. Now, they didn't put this into mass production. They didn't ultimately end up doing it. It ended up being a pace car later in its time. But for a brief period of filming a movie in 1986, they used it in a little movie called The Wraith. Brian, you might remember this. This car was style and sleekness, and they produced it just for this movie, and they never, I guess, produced any more of them. Let me see if I can. That was the car they used.
Oh, that's cool.
In the Wraith. This car was Nick. I did a whole thing of it last week, but the Wraith was a movie about a teenager who was killed by this gang of, I think they were drag racers, like a gang.
Okay.
And then he comes back as a ghost demon type thing. There is actually the poster. He wore like a suit with a helmet, but it was Charlie Sheen, but he was a ghost.
This is what year?
1986.
Okay.
The Wraith.
The Wraith.
And we're this
Sounds
is
like
definitely
Wraith
going to
for the
movie.
list?
We're all going to
The Wraith.
Yes,
like Mike Tyson saying it with a Wraith.
We're going
the
with
Wraith
the Wraith,
car
baby. The Wraith car
Wraith
driver. Yeah. So the Dodge M4S from the movie The Wraith is my vehicle pick. My last vehicle pick.
Man,
it's a cool car.
You weren't expecting that one, were you, Brian?
Maybe semi.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Is that everyone did
That's it
their
for me.
5?
Yep.
That's a 5-er.
That's a
Any
5.
honorable mentions you want to mention quickly, Nick?
Yeah,
I don't.
certainly the Slave One was one that I, when I was in Star Wars vehicles,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Slave One's always been up there. Definitely a cool vehicle. That's the main one that comes to mind. Like I said, I comprised my list very recently, but Slave One was obviously one that
The
comes to
look
mind.
and the sound that it made too was one of the coolest sounds
Yeah,
when the ship
sure.
flew off the Slave
Yeah.
One. Yeah,
Back
and
then,
And the
the
way
you,
it
engine, of
you
course.
came
lands and
up,
then goes
and then you had to go
upright,
up.
and yeah,
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
deal.
very cool.
Well, the Slave One made its appearance on the Boba Fett show. No, it was at the Mandalorian.
It was
Did the Slave One
Mandalorian.
come down?
Yep.
Yes.
I was so stoked, man. I was probably as excited to see Slave One as anything on that series. When that came down, I felt like a kid again, seeing that and hearing that sound again. So anyway.
My honorable mentions, you guys already picked them for on your actual list. So off the top of my head, I'm going to go this same kind of route Nick has. I'm going to go Jabba's sail barge.
Sure.
Who wouldn't want that big bastard driving you around the desert, dancing and singing and listening to music? Yeah,
serving you drinks,
yeah,
making people walk the plank into the Sarlacc pit.
absolutely. That's a good Saturday. If you
good
ask
day
me.
out in the sun. That's a nice. That's
I
a
like
nice
that. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm tired of your goddamn dumb jokes. Get to walk the plank.
I'm screwed.
Walk the plank. That's it.
Brian.
Right? Yep.
You got any honorable mentions?
Are we doing one at a time? We're going through the whole quick.
I just had one because all mine were taken by your guys' actual picks. So
I had.
We're done.
I had the DeLorean as well, which you had on the list. I had the I replaced Fire Fiend. Land Speeder. That was one of the first iconic vehicles on screen in Star Wars. Certainly, it'd be I always thought that was cool. The concept was great. It looked great, and it was a cool toy. So my original Land Speeder, as we speak, and the Flintstone car.
Oh yeah,
so
I forgot about that.
The Flintstone car, moving with your feet, just had a cool look to it.
Yep.
It made absolutely no sense
Little
how
Tykes
it
makes
actually
those.
would work.
Those are real. Little Tykes makes those. It's called a cozy coupe. Yeah,
cool. I like
real.
that.
That's actually the vehicle Brian took his driver's test in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that maneuverability was a motherfucker in that thing.
It was a little rough.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, I think we did it, boys.
That's it. So, I tell you what.
Episode.
In honor, now Dean got one here. Dean, you want to show your convincing idiots tattoo? Are you able
I did. There we go.
Put that up on the screen there.
But...
That's right. So in honor of our 200th episode, our friends at Golden Heart Tattoo. So you can find them online at Golden Heart Norton and OR2ON. They've moved to Wadsworth, Ohio. Give them a call, 234-706-2982, and tell them you would like to get your celebratory 200th episode Convincing Idiots tattoo, and they will do that at full price for you in honor of our 200th episode, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And if you want, they could put a 200 underneath the logo.
They'll quote you for free, just like Blake Insurance.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And any one of us or all three of us would be happy to sign your arm and have Scott tattoo our signature.
Yeah.
Onto your body.
I don't care where.
Enough, my signature looks like a drawing of a dick and balls. So just be aware.
That's right.
I'm actually offering. I'm going to offer to sign the dick and balls. I mean, right there on the fucking neck, right there.
On the neck.
Yeah.
Yep.
The growing and shrinking signature. It's a magic trick.
That's right.
Because for my first name and then my last name when it gets hard. And...
Well, Nick's been practicing all summer, ladies and gentlemen, for the perfect outro, and now is the perfect time to hear it for our 200th episode. So, Nick, whenever you're ready, sir, please take us out.
Absolutely.
For our 200th extravaganza.
200th. In honor of our 200th episodes, we have had a lot of ad reads. We've covered a lot of topics. We've heard from a lot of different people. And one of our favorites was perhaps Brian, who sounded exactly like Barack Obama. And my friends, he would probably tell you that, as Brian Fisher, the resident Zennial here on Convincing Idiots, you could find us on all of your favorite social media platforms. And in doing so, I would probably send it over to my good friend and legendary singer of the Bee Gees, Barry Gibb, to tell you that you can go ahead and take your happy ass over to our link tree. There, you're going to find all of the different links. Every single one. Facebook is on there, as well as Twitter, and also Instagram, and so many more. Including TikTok. So, be sure to head over to Linktree. And if that's too much for you to remember, you can also head on over to our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com.
It's a bit rusty.
For this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am Zennial Brian. Nope, just kidding. Gen X Brian is what it would be. I am out of practice. I'm Millennial Nick. I don't know who the fuck I am or what the fuck's going on, but this is an outro read. I'm Millennial Nick.
I'm Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
And this has been 200 episodes of Convincing Idiots. Have we convinced you that we deserve to do 200 more? Or even one more?
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're going to want to.
Ham gravy.
I realized what I was doing as I was doing it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Two. Keep it. I like it. Keep it.
Yeah, that's good.
Unless you don't like it, we can redo it. But as I was like,
fucking
two.
love it.
And I was doing the zeros, I'm like, I'm fucking jerking off air dicks. All right, cool. Double fisted.
That's great. That's brilliant. Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm back. I'm so glad I'm back. This is the greatest show ever.
I miss this so much.
Oh my god.
Oh
Good
fuck.
stuff.
That's hilarious.
Good stuff.
Yeah, like literally as I'm doing it, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing right now?